everybody. Welcome to your favorite clusterfunk of a show. What are we calling it again? Some might call it Inside Crap Show.
Yeah.
But we call it In Production.
Inside Crap Show.
Inside Crap Show.
No! Oh, whoa.
We went lazy on the boom today.
Yeah, we did.
We don't have 3 lavs that are currently working because that's how we roll. We break stuff, like our GH5. Still broken. Don't know what we're going to do.
Yeah.
Everybody, welcome to the show. On this show, we talk about whatever we feel like, usually camera related. Sometimes we do some edumacation. Other times, things fall apart. That's actually not other times. That's most of the time.
I was going to say, that's a normal occurrence. Isn't it?
That's how we put things together. We finally solved our GH5S live stream problem, for anyone out there curious to know.
We did.
We had a bad HDMI cable. Why it took us so long? It's like they all look the same, so like we were just...
They do. We finally found it.
Yeah, and then we marked that cable, so I know the audio is probably a little bit low. It can't sound that bad.
Probably is. No.
It can't sound terrible.
We don't sound that bad.
No, you just got to turn it up. I'll just turn everything else down for you. I know that this commercial is going to come up here in a minute. Is going to need to be lowered on volume.
We got a commercial?
I was going to show a pee-pee commercial.
Okay.
Is it pee-pee?
Yeah.
You forgot to add the third P to it. So it sounds a little interesting now. I kind of want to see this one.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious because you said pee-pee.
No, I mean, that's what happens when you have your dad armor on. That's how you roll with dad armor.
Yeah.
If you guys don't know who this is, he is a member of the Craft Show community. Also happened to be in town, Chris Lott.
What's up?
And so we just threw him in a chair.
I'm like hiding behind everybody, just kind of lurking, like, hi, everybody.
Chris, sit in this chair awkwardly and behind me and Jeff, and be at an awkward angle to make it work.
Yeah,
exactly.
And then I'll cut half my body.
And then Jeff cut half your body off. But me, I'm in my glorious with nipples.
Exactly. You know, he's the one that's like super comfortable. I'm kind of like leaning backwards about to fall, and Jeff's like cut off. And
I'm popping. Look at this. Yeah. I got the Chatsky box ready. Pow! I'm on it today. We are on fire. Of course, Jeff is drinking. Go ahead with your
I'm drinking a Monkey Nut by Straight to Ale from Huntsville, Alabama.
Huntsville, local beer. I'm drinking Polar, a Polar Bear's Nuts.
And since I'm the guest, I get nothing.
He was offered.
Yeah. There's some tap water from the airplane toilet over there.
Yeah. No. He's so scary.
It is weird, right? I like not telling. I used to not tell people about the flush.
Yeah.
But then like some people were freaking out. And I could hear through the wall. They're like, "Oh God!"
That's what I did when I went in there.
It is not the place where you want to flush it.
No.
Because it might just suck you right down through it.
Well, I will say the first time I did it, that little contraption pump.
Yeah.
Water was coming out of it the first time I flushed it. It was before we had moved over here.
Yeah.
And that kind of terrified
So
me.
if you guys don't know,
you just kind of like walk away.
You
like,
can't help it. If you guys don't know what we're talking about, it may happen during this show, and you may get to hear it. But we had a closet next door to us that they installed a bathroom into, except it didn't have. It was never. Plumbing was never run to it. So the plumbing literally is pumped. Basically, the shittle is pumped from here up there. It goes above us. In fact, it leaked. We've talked about that before, and it ruined a bunch of. So now we just have.
I see one of the tiles.
Yeah, it was terrible. So that's what we're talking about with the airplane toilet. You may get to hear it. You may not. If you go back to previous episodes, I know it's been in a couple of episodes before.
It has been in a couple.
Because it distracts me. I'll be mid-thought and be like, someone just took a pee or poo.
Yeah.
No!
All right, on today's show, because you probably don't care about our poop problems and toilet issues, we are going to talk about what we're calling the family adventure, a camera family adventure, starring Craft Show, starring Craft Show's cameras. We just did a music video, so we're also going to throw you guys some tips in there with that same footage, just to kind of talk about how we approach simple shoots like that, where you don't have to make it over convoluted unless you really want to. In this case, they weren't looking for something like overly stylized. They just wanted something very simplistic and kind of artistic. And they had seen what we did with that award-winning music video now.
No!
Yeah, that's pretty true.
No!
So we kind of followed that motto, but we wanted to kind of talk about that. We'll look at the footage. It is a glorious mix of red, GH5 and GH5S. I think you'll probably be able to spot the GH5S in a few places. In some spots, I don't think you can. I don't think you can. I mean, the red,
Possibly.
maybe you might be able to, and you can play that game if you'd like. We'll answer it if you're watching live. I see we got a couple of questions. Jeff, what's
No,
going
there's
on?
no questions.
Oh.
Just people mentioning us.
Oh, well, thanks for mentioning us
Yeah.
on your lunch break.
Yeah, that's Nick.
Nicholas, how's it going? Nicholas is in Tennessee.
Yes, he is.
So why are you giving like,
Nashville.
English
I think.
accent?
No, he might not. He was traveling.
Yeah.
Are you still
That's
traveling?
True. He was traveling.
Bring me back some Chicago pizza, bro.
Ooh. If you're in Chicago, bring us back some little beer called 3/4.
Oh, yeah, get some 3 Floyds. I bet Wade already asked you for that. That's the
Probably
problem
has.
with this community, folks. Once we know about you, we stalk you.
I know. Especially when
Chris
we have
Lofton.
Chris.
It's like forever. I'll just pretend you're there. Chris and I used to host a podcast. If you'd like to listen
Yeah.
to it, you can't find it.
No, it's still on SoundCloud. I actually found it. It's still on SoundCloud. It's still there.
Is it?
Yeah, it's still on there.
If you're interested in the film business and Chris and I talking about nerdy shittle,
Oh,
you can find a podcast called Between the Line. Not
Yeah.
lines, Between the Line. It's like if you're on a call sheet, you have above the line, that
Uh-huh.
is your actors, your director, the people that matter, and then and then below the
Yeah.
line is everybody else.
People like me.
Jeff and Chris. So essentially, if we just draw a line right here, just to know I'm above it, I'm just
Exactly. That's why Jeff's cut off and I'm leaning in the chair.
kidding. It's totally right. That is an industry term. That is a real term. But if you have a
It
chance,
is.
check it out. There's some great interviews. There's a great one with Alex Funky. There's lots of like arguing between me and Chris, and there's some innovation. There's a long, ongoing gag about Maximum Overdrive.
Oh man, you had to bring it up, Maximum Overdrive.
There's lots of stuff. It's not inside jokes until you listen. Oh, it is an inside
Yeah.
joke until you listen to the show.
Yeah.
Jeff's been interviewed on it.
Yep.
A few times.
A few times.
There's a costume designer we interviewed named Ivy Thade, and
Yeah.
she just texted me, and I
Did
love
she
her.
really?
She doesn't watch this, I know
she
for a
coming?
fact. No.
Dun damn.
She texted me and said, "Hey, Seth says hello," and I was like, "Seth," and so she was like, "Bloop," sends a picture. Yep, she's working on the Orville, which I think is
oh, man.
yeah,
Yeah.
dude. That's one of my favorites. So like. I wish you were here. Everybody says I wish you were here, but nobody will give me a GOD job. That's the problem I got. Everybody wants the Drew, but nobody really wants the Drew.
No, they just want the job.
They can't.
Jeff is stuck with the Drew.
Yeah.
And I just randomly show up. So, on my own terms, I'll put it that way.
Yeah, that's how it works. All right, so we'll take a look at some of this footage. But first, I'm going to show you guys a little commercial for our friend PremiumPowerPacks.com. Shamelessly plugging. That's that little gimmick that I don't have one here. I actually have been using it. It's been charging. That's that little that battery brick we use. We've officially made it part of our kit. We carry it with us. Yeah, I probably should. Oh, a little Twitter action.
There you go.
I don't even do Twitter. If you follow me on Twitter, good luck. Better on Instagram @CraftShow. Instagram @CraftShow. You should follow us.
Yeah.
We post a lot of stuff. We're gonna start trying to figure out how to do tutorials through stories because no one's done that yet.
Ooh, that'd be interesting.
Yeah,
I just
we
gave
post
away a
lot.
pro tip.
Oh.
Jeff also posts @TheBeardColor.
Yeah. My wife, Sarah, posted all of them.
Yeah, really, Sarah
Pretty
handles all of it. Yeah. Where was I going with my tangent? Oh, so I want to show you this premium power pack. So we have been using them consistently. We've powered a Shogun with it. We've powered
We've powered
a
the
light
Zoom
panel, powered
with
the
us
Zoom
every
recorder.
show.
Yeah, we've been using it on the show. We've powered lots of stuff. The only thing we haven't done yet is power GH5 because we need that USB to GH5 adapter. That's like $35. But the upside is this guy's selling this battery. I will tell you, it ran all of our stuff all day long. Like leaving the light on, like we just left it. We kind of forgot about that light. It was like just a little hidden hair light type gimmick, and it powered it all day long. With I think it dipped to 1, like it dipped down 1 dot the entire time. Now, granted, LEDs don't draw a lot, but they're super sick. And if you're as broke as me and Jeff, and your car breaks down because your battery died, it'll also jump your car off.
Really?
Dude, it's insane. You can power all your crap and jump your car off. This sounds like a shitty info commercial.
For the last time, no.
Anyway, I'm going to show you that commercial shot on the GH5S. We thought it was kind of fun. By the way, I'll go over how we shot it because I think it's kind of interesting to consider. I'm not telling you to break any local laws in your neighborhood or with cats. Here you go. we go, shamelessly peddling something we actually think is of value. We don't just post random crap. We actually really do like that product. That was the ungraded version, come to find out.
Yep.
Jeff did a great job grading. If you want to see the graded version, head on over to premiumpowerpacks.com. Pick yourself up a power pack. Why do I say it's like a gimmick now. But they are good, and you can see the commercial. You can also see the nighttime commercial. If you haven't seen that, it's actually really cool because it was shot, again, on GH5S with zero lighting. We just went completely...
Yeah.
It was pretty insane. We talked about it last week, but if you have a chance, zip over there and check it out. I would appreciate it. I think the product's pretty good. It does what we want it to do on a consistent basis.
It does.
So there's that. The one thing about that spot, I'll give you a little tip that we did. First off, we did not hire a professional composer.
Why not, Drew?
Because you're too expensive, bro. So what we did do is that was just gagging him. So what I did is we were in the restaurant. Obviously, I had my kids. It's just about being innovative, right, and just being thoughtful. So the great thing about DSLRs when you don't have ginormous lenses like CP2s or whatever else mounted on them, is you look like you can kind of gorilla it. So we decided to go out to dinner with this couple at a restaurant, and I said, "Hey, tell their kid to dress nice. I'm going to put them in a commercial." That's what we did. And so I just shot really, really, really shallow. So everything was very, very shallow. So it would keep the background, other faces out of focus, keeping the people I wanted in focus in. And we stole those shots while having pizza dinner. So I was able to put it together. It's a simple little narrative, right? We ripped off Modern Family, according to Jeff.
Music-wise.
Music-wise.
Yeah. It's not really a rip-off. It's an ode.
I'm pretty much Phil Dunphy. There's no way around it.
No.
No.
No? Am I Al Bundy? Am I that grumpy?
No, you're kind of a mixture of the two.
Yeah.
I'm a dumb Al?
Yeah. You're a dumb Al. You're a dumb Al Bundy.
Yeah. Point is, you can steal shots and still get things done if you're clever about it, and you just don't go in and make a big hoopla. But it's also a testament to why I like the GH5S, because it allows me to steal shots. Why does this feel like a giant infomercial? The GH5S.
I wonder that, because first you can go for the power packs, now you go for the big crap show infomercial live.
Yeah, I have a question for you.
All right.
This is a shameless plug too. Watch this. We use Artlist for our music needs. And you can find the affiliate link somewhere listed. But in all honesty, this is a curiosity I have. So there's a couple of things, and I'm going to open up this question here in 1 second to the entire community. Please answer back, because I think it would be great to hear your opinions. So as a composer, right, and pardon me for not knowing, I mean, I have an assumption, but I want to hear it from you. Do you get to retain your music if you're doing a commercial job? Do you get to maintain ownership of that, or do you sell your music to the client? So when you deliver, they get the entire piece of music, and you cannot use it again.
Well, it really depends on the project.
Right.
I mean, there are some projects that I've done that has allowed me to keep the entire rights to the music, so I can reuse it whenever I want to. Or there's been projects where it's ours, you can't touch it.
Right.
So it really depends on the project. But as far as like the royalties and stuff like that, I still get that no matter what. But as far as the rights, it varies from project to project.
Same way it went on a movie too?
Yeah.
Okay. The reason I was asking is because, and this is the public question, it's come up several times recently. I've never had this issue before, but it's become a little more common that a lot of, some of the clients, not a lot, but some of the clients have been requesting the raw files.
Yeah.
Right? So that is to say, like, you're working off, orchestrals or loops or sound packs or whatever. You cannot give them the raw files. So you're delivering a forced final product, right? Whereas me and Jeff and maybe many of this community have gone to shoot something. We've filmed it. YouTube's going to block me for saying the S word. We filmed it, and then they gain access. So my question is, do you guys in the community here, do you give your clients or your whoever, do you give them all the footage when you're done? If you do you charge them a buyout fee? I'm just curious. For us, we've never really given it to them. We give them the final only, and then if they want additional cut downs or whatever, like Instagram or whatever, we're happy to do that for them. And oftentimes we just throw that stuff in. If it's a cut down of commercial, we just throw it in for free. But I was just kind of curious to see, do you guys transfer the footage? I know if Nick's watching, Nick, you're on the agency world. Mm-hmm. How does that work for you guys, like from a vendor side? And don't tell your boss I asked this question. I really want to work with Nick. I'm begging Nick. Get me up there, Nick. Put me in.
Now, on the music side, now you're talking about the raw files and stuff like that. I do know of some composers that they had to give up their raw stuff. They were forced to when they signed the contract.
They're forced to give up any temp tracks, or are you talking about just like all of the
all of it,
including the samples?
Including the samples.
Wow, see, that seems like that's copyright infringement.
Exactly,
because the license is really transferred.
Yeah.
To
Well,
you.
see, it was it doesn't happen as often now, but it has happened that I know of, and it was one of those deals. It was in the fine print. You know, this way you got to read that thing fully, but it was somewhere in there, and they were forced to give it all, and that's why. Every project I work on, I make sure that's not in there.
Well, what's nuts is still photographers are typically, it's expected that they get to retain the negative.
Right.
What? How does that make any sense? What's the difference in a still photographer? In fact, I'd argue in some cases, right? They get to pop strobes and look at the shot. I got like 30 seconds to get the shot up and get it done, right? You have like months or hours. I've seen it before.
Yeah.
Where you have to turn around music. So what right does why does stills get to retain the negative? I just think it's a weird flow that they're protected and yet video and audio
it doesn't
is
make
not.
sense. It should be like, you know, just like an unspoken rule that no matter what, you get to keep the raw or the you know, keep the negative, keep the raw, keep everything. The only thing you give out is the final product. That's it.
Yeah. What do you got? Is there anybody in the chat ski have any thoughts on this?
Yeah.
I should probably pop the chat ski up for him.
Probably should pop the chat ski.
Chat ski. There we go.
Yeah, authorize Mike talking about how they usually will back down when they see the size of the files.
Yeah.
Which
that's a good point.
Yeah, I mean, we've had it happen.
Yeah. If we panned, we just had to buy 3 5 terabyte hard drives just for a single client, and they're full. Like it's just
wait for one client?
Yeah,
dude.
Yeah, I mean we shoot.
I haven't got to that point yet.
We shoot a ton of footage, and that's part of it. Is like just providing. But you're in music side. Your stuff should be small.
Well, not necessarily. It depends on how much music I got to make, and I got to make all the WAV files.
Yeah, but even then, you're still like 20 or 30 gigs. Like a feature is like 20. Last time I did a feature, it was 27 gigs.
Yeah, it was still a lot for me.
No, that's a lot for you. That's still a lot. Don't get me wrong, but like.
When you're talking like 5 terabytes.
Yeah, it's like 2 shots on the red. That's like farting around. That's nothing to it.
And Beg, we're doing what's cheapest. In all honesty.
What?
Yes, why not 2 8 terabyte drives?
We have a RAID system. We have multiple RAIDs that we work off of for backup, or for working. And then our backup is a series of drives that we rotate through. So we do raw drives, we dump the footage, we double them, we basically back them up. So they're split. So there's 2 copies, and one lives here and one lives in a secret facility, not in here.
You gotta use a key code to access and everything else.
Not really. If you call my wife and tell her you're a roofer, apparently. Don't let anybody on the old roof. Don't take that wrong, Sarah, if you're watching.
You know she is.
Yeah, she probably is.
I'll pop up here in a second.
My children heard that.
Uh-huh.
They've also heard me swear. They know, they're used to it.
I was about to say that.
My youngest child, though, I'm proud of her. I do not push any of my agendas on my children. No Star Wars agenda, no movie agenda, no acting agenda. So right now, Sterling, the 2-year-old, almost 2-year-old, everything that is Star Wars is just BB-8. And it's BB hate.
Yeah.
I was like,
that's actually
Daddy,
awesome.
Daddy hates it too.
Yeah.
Another thing that was pretty awesome happening, I don't know if anybody's responded to my question or not, but another thing is that's been amazing is that Roger Deakins finally won an Oscar.
Did you see that over there?
Did somebody bring it up?
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. That's a big deal. You guys have heard how
awesome,
much we talk about Deakins on the show. He's been nominated 14 times.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was 14 times.
14 times, and he finally won a nomination. Don't get me wrong, I wanted Sarah. Is that her name? What's the girl's name from Mudville?
Morrison's her last name.
Yeah. I wanted her to win.
Sarah's the director.
Yeah, that's
Sarah
right.
something.
Yeah. I wanted Morrison to win, whatever her name is. Because I like Mudville. I thought it was a beautiful
Yeah, I think
film.
it's a beautiful film.
But Deakins, dude. Although Blade Runner 2049, I'm sorry, that's a Snorefest 3000.
I have not watched it yet.
There is no reason to. Watch the trailer. Seriously,
if you
watch
cannot
the
be any more blunt about it,
just watch. It's not that it's a bad movie. It's just long and boring and confusing, and who cares?
Well, just listening to the score was just like, okay, this is really nice and everything, but it's like
just drags
dragging
on.
and dragging
That's not
and
for me.
dragging.
Who won Best Composer this year? Do you even know?
Yeah, it was a Desplat for Shape of Water.
Oh, that's right. It was. Yeah, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I listened to it on Spotify.
Is it
I haven't
good?
I haven't seen the film.
I haven't
yet, but
either.
the score
They're actually
was-
going to show it here in the theater
Oh, okay. Yeah.
for 1 week. I'm
Oh,
going.
nice.
It's worth it. $16 movie ticket. I'm in. Cheapy me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's cool. That's right. Desplat won. That's
Yeah.
good. I
Yeah.
like.
I
his
like
stuff.
Desplat.
Yeah.
I loved his score to the Godzilla 2014. That was a.
I liked
great
it
score.
too. I actually wish he would have. Wasn't he on Rogue One? And they,
yeah, we talked about this on
yeah,
the podcast.
Yeah, and they canned him or something.
Yeah, it was. They brought in J.J. Abrams.
Yeah. That's right. I remember now. Yeah, okay, so we'll just move on forward here. So what I'm going to show is this music video stuff. I'm not going to play the song, so we'll just kind of narrate as we go. Hopefully the audio is good enough. Sorry that we're not doing lavs. If you're complaining about the audio, I apologize. That's on me. It's just we only have 2 lavs that work at the moment.
Yeah.
Just blame it on me. I'm the guest. It's all my
It's
fault.
Chris
It's
Slott's
Chris's
fault.
fault.
It's all my fault.
Dunkirk, no, that was boring. Oh, I didn't see Dunkirk. I heard it was pretty boring.
I hated the score.
See, I like the design. I didn't really care for the score.
Yeah.
But the sound design to it, I thought was really good.
Yeah.
The score was terrible. I'm sorry. I know that's Hans Zimmer, but it's still terrible.
No.
Yeah, but sometimes Hans Zimmer's gotten to be like a little played out.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
he's like Danny Elfman to me.
Yeah, Danny Elfman is the same way. Every once in a while, Elfman
Yeah.
will do something that
I don't know. I
surprises me.
like Danny Elfman's score to Justice League. I haven't seen the film, but I listened to the score, and I was kind of
Got
surprised.
that.
I forgot that one too.
Yeah, because
The
he brought back
the
the
cool
old theme
part. Yeah, he brought back the old Batman thing.
and Superman.
Yeah, brought back for those,
Oh,
which
that's
And,
actually was
and
really
the Flash.
Yeah.
Yeah, the old Flash.
I never
thing.
saw Justice League. I'm not a big DC guy.
I'm not either.
cool. See, yeah, I told you.
I was
my
happy.
thoughts on it.
I
said,
was
"Don't go
happy if
see
you've
it."
watched the show. I was thrilled that Star Wars won 0 awards. I hate that movie so much.
I
I
was
love the
actually-
people that made it because they're human beings, but that's about it.
Yeah, it
What a
wasn't the
turd.
best.
Wasn't the best.
It was not the best.
I've pooped out more epic adventures than that.
You know what's a better adventure
the
than
airplane-
that?
using the
Star
airplane
Wars
toilet.
Rebels.
Yeah, dude, I'm all about some Rebels. Grown ass man watching some cartoons.
Exactly.
I do. I
Stayed
watched
up
that
till
last time.
almost midnight last night
As-
watching
you
cartoons.
know,
Hey, I skipped watching
I
wrestling.
know. I couldn't do that.
It's terrible.
So what, you got it like DVR and you sit there, as soon as wrestling's over, you go back to Rebels?
I did.
Well, it ended.
I've
It's
got
done.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's the end of the show. It was good.
It was very good.
It was
ending.
more entertaining. It was seriously more entertaining as a nerd, and there's more cinematic quality in a cartoon than they've put in the movies, like the last 7 or 5 movies that have come out. Because Rogue One was pretty decent, but like it was like watching cinema, and it's very basic cinema. It's back to just pure storytelling. There's some moments in there from the score that are just there's one section. Of the
Well, yeah,
score
it's
that's just
Kevin
ridiculous.
Kiner. That dude is fantastic.
No, it's amazing.
Considering one of his early accomplishments was Leprechaun.
I was hoping you were going to say Maximum Overdrive.
No, that's AC/DC, buddy.
We were talking about the movie Free Jack the other day. Remember that movie?
Oh God, yeah, I remember that movie.
That was a terrible
Anthony Hopkins.
Yeah, that
Was it Mick Jagger in that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, your audio is all right. Could be worse. Well, that's good to know. Tuba.
Pee Wee's Big Adventure.
That's his first piece of score.
Yeah, it was.
Elfman, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So
Yeah, Elfman did. Oh,
here's what we're
Spider-Man
gonna
too.
do. We're gonna show this footage now because that's what we're gonna do. All right. So what we're about to show you is going to be content for a music video. It's a mixture of camera formats. We'll probably talk about it as we go. I'll let it loop. If you have questions, make sure you do the @CraftShow for your questions, and we will answer them as much as we possibly can. This is a mix of Red, GH5, GH5S footage. Chris has no idea, though Chris has been around enough sets. I bet he can't pick it out either. But the fun part of it is, it's really nice just to consider the fact that you can take multiple cameras, mix them together, and not look for a perfect match sometimes, though some of the stuff matches up fairly well.
It does, but a lot of it that
lot of
doesn't
it's-
match
it's-
isn't supposed to.
Right, it's creative
Actually,
choices. And so the first and easiest trick for considering music video work when you're trying to do it on the down, dirty, and cheap, and you happen to have 2 cameras, is shoot one safely and do the other one just absolutely batshittle crazy. Like just do something really risky and crazy. And you'll see some of that in this. The other side of it is you'll see some lensing, and we'll talk about that. So there we go. Starting out the video, so I shoot a lot of the music video stuff slow motion, simply because I like the kind of wandery, walky, slow-mo-y vibe of it. Certainly for the song, the cadence of the song is not like super poppy.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a Chris Isaacs type jam.
It really is.
Yeah. It's a good track.
That was
but
kind
the other
of-
side of is just doing that little trick right there.
That was kind of a partial inspiration for that little trick right
Yeah.
there, actually, was Chris Isaac.
Is jumping between the black and white and the color. It's a little played, but you know what? Again,
It is.
we're looking for consistent. The demographic on this music video is not YouTube generation or anyone in that space. It is an older demographic. Trick number
Yeah,
2,
it
find
definitely
the
is.
hottest human being girl possible and just put her in there for any reason. Just find a beautiful woman and throw her in there.
Yeah, that seemed to work pretty well for this video.
It's just people. People
Oh,
like
yeah.
to look at pretty people. That's
They
just
do.
the way it is, and that's pure marketing. You can find the hottest guy, you can find the hottest dog, hottest cat, whatever it might be. Just find something that is attractive to your audience and throw them in there. And by attractive, I mean they don't have to be sexually attracted to them. I'm talking about they might be envious of them, they may be interested in them, they may be just curious as to why this dude pulled a girl this hot into his life, if that's what they're taking from it, even though this video never really says that by any means.
No, it doesn't.
So you can see we did a lot of slow-mo beats, again, because the cadence of the song matched into it. And one of the tricks we're doing here, and this is another trick, is a lot of vintage lensing. So there's a lot of vintage lensing going on here.
Yeah, there is.
And we've talked about it before. If you can get your hands on some vintage lenses, they're super good for music videos. They're dirty cheap. They give you weird looks organically, and then when you grade on top of them, you come up with something even more interesting on it. We also did some sunset shots. We tried an experiment. You're going to see how it worked
Yeah.
out here in a second. We tried to do something really insane where we shot the music video. We shot a time lapse and had the artist play very, very slow to see if we could remap it so that the sun was setting and he was playing in real time. So the sun was setting hyperlapse without doing a green screen, all in
Okay.
camera.
Yeah.
Because that's the other side of it. Try and do as much in-camera effects as you can with
Yeah.
music
Right
video.
here.
It's not that one.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just a piece of it. When you'll actually see it,
Yeah,
it's,
you'll-
it's pretty whack-a-mole looking.
That's
Sorry it's so
interesting.
small. I don't know how to make it. It's a wacky thing on. We're looking at the live cast
Yeah.
screen. Here it comes right here. So this section here is exactly that. So the
Oh,
remnants.
that's crazy.
It turned out weird, right?
Yeah, that's cool looking though. I
But
mean,
right,
that's,
so-
that's different.
The idea is just find something different, find something that you may or may not have considered before, and if your plan fails, just throw shots together.
Yeah.
No, we had a strategy.
Well, we did it. Yeah, we did it a couple of different ways.
Yeah, and we knew it wasn't going to potentially
Yeah.
work. We tested it, we did some stuff, but we just didn't have the time to sit there and solve the problem, not for the budget, not for this angle.
Yeah.
But we still wanted to make something creative.
Well, it catches your eye though. I mean,
That's the
It does.
point.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all you're trying to do with a music
Right.
video anyway. If you think about a music video, it's basically a giant commercial. So think
is.
how you're selling the
song.
product. Yeah, you're
Yeah.
selling the song. The song
Yeah.
is the product. So how are you going to sell that product to potential audience members or whoever might be that gets it? So there you go. Some nice, beautiful slow-mo. Sunset. We were there. This was a pickup shot. The other side of the music video thing, and this is a pretty big tip. You guys might already know this, but a lot of people miss it. They try and storyboard way too much in a music video, and they miss the chance to just grab absolutely
Yeah, and
random
we're always-
shots. Yeah, good. That's fine.
Yeah.
Just grab completely random shots and go with it.
Yeah, they do.
Half of the footage of that girl is completely random shots. We had like some purposeful
Oh,
ones.
yeah.
And then
No,
a
it
lot of
definitely
it
is. Yeah.
So you used a lot of B-roll.
Yeah, I mean, the point is to
well, we
stack
also
it.
we hit a spot where at one point we were early. We got in the head to get to a location.
Yeah.
So it was Drew and Jeff take a bounce on a camera and
Hey.
grab her and just start shooting stuff.
And we had like cameras mounted on the back of a pickup truck. So
Yeah, we did.
because the one thing we didn't want to do is living on the coast, we didn't want to show the water. The
Right.
producer was like, I just don't want to see the water.
Right.
So we did the sunset where we got the horizon line out. And so we have like a GH5S and a red mounted on the back of a pickup truck.
Yeah.
Jeff wandering around getting weird B-roll. But prior to that, I was wandering around with a red, just getting random B-roll
Yep.
and just like grabbing shots as we went. And then we just mixed all this stuff together. The only downside of the entire process, and if you could see it larger, you'd be able to tell more, is that some shots are super, super, super sharp.
Yeah.
Jeff did a little bit to soften them, but it's still that digital video issue that
There's
I always
definitely
have, is that
some that look that way.
it gets sharper. All right, do you have any questions in the chat ski and anything going on there? Anyone cares?
Not really.
Okay, great. No one cares.
Yeah. Nobody cares. Huawei says that he likes black and white footage with the noise on it.
Yeah.
MPEG says it looks good.
It's technically 16 mil grain.
It is. With light leaks.
Yeah, the one thing is too is like just don't get stuck on technical crap. Like, that's the other biggest takeaway in the entire world is you can go take and shoot a music video very quickly, very efficiently if you don't allow yourself to get stuck on the technical minutia of what is happening around you. Just go for it and just let it be what it is. And at this point, you've got like Bluetooth playback. Did you ever do an old school music video?
No.
Did you ever do one, Jeff?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where you had to do the Nagra and the so it used to be you'd have this giant speaker and then you'd have to have a sound person for playback, and it was all crazy.
No, see, I've never had to do that.
And even on small budget music videos you had to do it because it was film.
Right.
And so
Actually, we tried to do it on one of ours at the very beginning.
yeah, and then we gave up on that idea.
We gave up really fast.
I was like, you know what? I can take this
We tried that.
I can take this pocket Bluetooth speaker and just throw it in like.
We did.
Seriously, and
well, I mean, hey, like you said before, I mean, if it works, it works.
Yeah,
it totally
and we've
works.
also done it now with the Bluetooth speaker, but we also did one with our, I think it was my phone.
Yeah.
Where I was laying in the back of the back of a truck with like the seats here and my hands right here and his head's right here, just so he could hear it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's whatever you take to get the shot done. It doesn't really, like, getting stuck in how you made the shot is not necessarily as important as just getting the shot. I'll go back to the picture here. Plap! Yeah. So it's more just about thinking outside the box by being inside of a box. And if your box is time, money, or whatever, that's what it is. That video was shot in 5 hours. Complete.
Wow.
The whole thing
Yeah.
done. 5 hours.
Editing, everything.
No, editing total was 10 hours.
Jeez, man.
And then 2 hours of grade. So 12 hours total, finished product, out the door, done.
So you run a like truncated time deadline? Or,
No.
No?
That's just normal Drew speed. I mean, I just
Yeah, that was just. That's what helps when you have the editor and the colors shooting the video as well.
Yeah,
Like literally right there next to each other.
Well, no, I mean, even on set, though, because, like, I can ask Jeff questions, what's in my mind as I'm kind of building ideas. Like, we had a sketch of what we wanted to do, right? But after we shot it, I was like, yeah, that's not going to work. And so that was the time-lapse thing. Like, that was going to be the anchor of the video. And then all of a sudden we didn't, and it was like bailout. So that was after we'd shot everything else. So then when I started cutting, I started looking at it. I was like, you know what? I'm really feeling this. And we tested it, and we played with stuff. And I was like, this looks really great. But cutting the video is a simple matter of syncing the sound, which takes no time anymore. Used to be a nightmare. You can literally right-click in Premiere and sync audio. You might have to adjust a little bit.
Right.
But I've done so many music videos that, like, at this point, it's just easier for me to zip through it.
Yeah, I've never edited a music video before, and that was like one of the things I was always afraid of. If I ever had to do one, I was like, how's this going to sync up? I never could wrap my head around it. And
nowadays, though, you don't use we use the onboard mic because then it's out of the way.
Yeah.
The artist isn't thinking about it. It's easy.
Right.
So you have an onboard mic, whatever, done. And then you just make sure your playback can be heard. And most of this crap, when you turn on automatic for audio, it's crap audio. You can't use it.
Right.
Sometimes we have, but it's more important to just use the use it for sync sound, and it's really easy to do it. Now, that said, that little camera, the GH5S, and I'm just telling this to Chris, actually has a port on it now that allows you to do time codes. You can actually jam sync it to a real...
Which somebody in here
What?
brought up earlier.
$2,500 camera, time codes, and
The output stuff.
and inputs and outputs. By the way, guys, that is an I/O port. I don't know if it's been mentioned. That's a huge deal. And the way we know that is because our Red, does not have a breakout box. We just never needed one.
Yeah.
And so ours is only equipped for timecode in. We have successfully tested, and the video will drop sometime this week. We have successfully tested a 30-minute run of timecode.
35 minutes.
35 minutes, and the results of it are pretty cool, but there's, potential for challenge. So we'll show you what the results are when the video drops, but we have officially tested the time code, and it's pretty seamless. I mean,
jeez, man, that's
it's crazy.
Insane.
So again, for like low end, not even low end, for filmmakers, I wouldn't even categorize it. Like, that's what assholes do. I would quite literally say for filmmakers, now all of a sudden you have a TC camera. The downside is, like, I will say, playing with it more, the IBIS missing is... I noticed it really bad this weekend in some shots. Like, really bad. I was shooting something personal, and it was pretty rough. Excuse me. I should have probably done it. Anyway, that's it. I'm not going to, make anything crazy about it. The easiest trick in the world for music videos is not getting stuck in your own head, not getting stuck on the technology, but instead figuring out what you've got. Even if it's your cell phone, who cares? Figure out a way to work it in, right? I want to do an entire music video that's text, like a text message. So the background constantly changes.
We did a short that has
Yeah.
A cell phone that's a major player in it.
Yeah.
Text message.
Yeah. Real time short.
Yeah.
So the idea is just get innovative. And to be candid, I like this song that we did. But to be absolutely candid, I did not have a single inspirational idea aside from aesthetics. I knew I wanted tones and feelings.
Right.
And I'm not, as
Yeah, I
a
didn't
director, I
either.
can write something. I'm not like you where someone can come to me and be like, here's the emotion, write it. I don't have that skill.
Right.
Chris is on the composing side. Jeff's on the color side. We're kind of technical, but you have to be technical and creative. We get to be creative when we have the full control, but we
Right.
don't have
Yeah.
control of the song. So all of a sudden, I'm working backwards here. I got to make emotion. And
Yeah.
so I liked it. I do like the track, but I
Me
like the
too.
track more now that
Now?
I've listened to it
Yeah.
350,000 times.
Exactly.
Well, I
me
mean,
too.
yeah, you're talking with emotion and everything else. Even with the composers, if the director cannot convey what kind of emotion is supposed to be there,
That's a bigger problem.
Yeah, that's an even bigger problem because there's been there's been so many problems. Like I'll start to score something and I'm like, what was the emotion right here? What was the feeling? I don't know.
Yeah.
And then I'm sitting there watching it. I can't get anything, and I'm like, yeah, here you go, buddy. Here's just something for you. I hope it works.
That's how it always goes. That's how you have to deal with it. So, yeah, that stuff. Red versus GH5 footage, all mixed together. Everybody playing happy, making looks, making things happen. I popped the Chatsky up. If there's any questions, whatever.
I've been answering stuff. Philip Timothy brought up a good thing that was
Yep.
way more B-roll than you think you need.
It always.
shoot.
That's a great point. But that's my
It
thing.
is.
Is like
It is.
we had 2 performance pieces in that entire thing. We just shot little segments. If you listen to a song and you can figure out that the hook, the chorus is going to be the same, like this one, the chorus. Again, I didn't want to play it because technically that video is not even out yet. But the chorus in the song and the performer was, I mean, this guy's almost an android. Like he is like so
Yeah,
good
he-
at it. Like
Been
we had no
playing-
sync for half of it because he would just play it. And it was just in sync. Like I was like, "This is insane." We cue up playback, and it would
That's
be like,
crazy, man.
Like he is. It's insane.
He's a former studio musician. Though,
He
too.
is. Yeah, he's
He's been
good.
playing for a long time.
But the point is when the hook is the same, then we would take the hook and know that we just shoot like the chorus or
Right.
whatever.
Pieces
we
of
just
it
shoot
everywhere.
pieces all over the
Right.
place. Takes a lot less time, and then shoot the primary performance. That building that's in black and white is kind of pretty in color. The lens flares are really pretty in color. That's
It
that
is,
image
yeah.
lens. But that building is like green and fully glassed. It looks like a weird greenhouse type thing.
Where's the shot at?
Panini Pete's.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Fairhope.
in Fairhope, yeah.
Oh, okay.
So it's got like this whole thing. So that fountain was right there by it,
Oh, okay.
right? So you
Yeah.
just got to be open to the idea that like, here's your 3 locations, find some stuff and make it work. Not lazily. The challenge,
yeah.
the creative challenge is in figuring it out and stacking as much B-roll as you can. Hence one of the tricks about shooting slow-mo when you can.
But and another big problem for us was
We also had 2 cameras running the whole time.
2 cameras, very busy, beautiful day.
Yeah.
So having to go around making sure we didn't have a whole bunch of other traffic in
We
it and
pirated a
stuff.
couple
Yeah.
shots without permits. I mean, but
We pirated a few.
it's the way it works.
Oh, it is.
Welcome to Craft Show.
How we teach you to steal shots.
Welcome to Fairhope.
Yeah.
Where we penalize you for being creative. Oh, we're an artist community.
Yeah, right.
Exactly.
Doesn't make any sense.
No.
Oh, let's see. While we said how long from hired for the music video to shoot day and concept time?
Oh, concept time?
Not much.
No, I mean, I listen to it, like, I put the song in my car when
Yeah.
I'm driving, and I listen to it probably 3 or 4 times.
Yeah, we listened to the whole album once.
Yeah. Just to get the whole feel of the
Yeah.
album. And then, so that's, let's say an hour, so probably like 2 hours of concept time, just kind of playing around. The offer came in pretty quick.
Yeah, we didn't have too long, but we
No.
had a few days.
No, yeah.
But I mean, it was
They're a killer record label too, though, so they're
Yeah.
super friendly to work with. And then the shoot time, like I said, the shoot time was, I think it was 4 to 5 hours.
yeah,
somewhere
something
in there.
like 4 or 5.
What time did we get there? 2?
We got
wrapped
there
it?
at 2.
It was 4 hours.
Yeah, because we didn't get down there until 2:30.
Yeah, 2:30 to 5:30. Yeah. That's 3 hours.
2:30 to 6.
But we drove.
Because
yeah.
we let it go all
Yeah.
the way
Yeah, that's true.
because it was 5:50.
But we had to drive, so we had
Yeah.
30 minutes. So half of that, a chunk of that time was 30 minutes of travel in the middle of that.
Yeah.
So point is, we did it quickly and efficiently, and they loved it. We're happy with it. It's good for the song. It works for the song. Again, I wish you could hear it, and you can eventually. I'll drop a link, but
Yeah, we can drop it whenever it gets released.
it works for that piece. Now, I did a music video for the White Rabbits a long time ago in Missouri. I was not the director of that or DP, but I was working on that video, and that was 3.5 days of shooting. And all that video is this crazy rig they built with lights. So it's like a Edison thing. What is that? Edison scope? What is the Thomas Edison spinny wheel gimmick?
Oh yeah.
Whatever that thing is.
Yeah.
Pictophone.
Yeah.
Whatever it is. It's like one of those, except it was made with like Kino bulbs on the edges of it, and they just took the circle and we all just ran around it. And we pushed this thing around and went crazy. But they shot so much coverage. They shot coverage of that for 3 days. And that's the only part of the music video. Mm-hmm. The crazy part is bring 3 cameras in, shoot 3 cameras, be done with it in a day, and move on, because that video is going to be made in post-bay. It's not going to be made from these long, over-elaborate shots. It just doesn't.
That one.
And their budget was $5,000. So, like, they didn't have a super big budget for a 3-day shoot.
For a 3-day shoot.
So people were working their butts off for very little pay. It just doesn't make a lot of cash flow sense. It's great for the person who made it, but
Yeah.
and the White Rabbits, it did well for them. But this video was not that high of a budget.
Yeah. Well, MPEG asked for our music videos always at 24 frames a second.
99.9% of the time, yes.
Yeah. 23976.
Yeah, we typically do 23976
Yeah.
because you kind of want a universal playback for them for delivery. And it also has to do with the ISRC embed and all that stuff. That's part of it. It goes into it, but you want the most common, broad-reaching playback humanly possible. Typically, we always deliver 4K, UHD 4K, just because, again, you want to make sure that they get as much reach as they possibly can. Your job is to help them sell their album or promote their album, and so as an advertiser, essentially is what you're doing, whether you like it or not. That's what it does. Yep.
Do you ever shoot music videos at 60p?
Yeah, almost all of it's 60p. We just conform it.
Yeah, we conform it down to 24.
I don't like the look of 60p. It looks like a soap opera to me. I'm sorry. I'm one of those people. I'm not slamming it. Just to my eyes, it feels too much like a high frame rate video game. It feels like I'm playing. I'm watching Jeff play Fortnite.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. You know why it actually got cleaner and crisper?
Yeah.
It's because they actually did go to 60 frames.
Did they really?
Yep, it truly is.
There you go. Jeff plays Fortnite.
Yep.
No!
Drew plays Fortnite too, just not as much lately.
I
like how that was like a dad no.
No.
You got the kid now. I
I
got the
know,
dad.
exactly.
The camera family now.
Yep. What vintage lenses do we use? Mostly Minolta is what we've been shooting with.
This is the one we've talked about before, but
Yeah.
it is. This is our crazy one. It's a Minolta. It's the Japanese version, so it's the Rockcore or whatever it is. But what's killer about it, or the downside of it, is it's adapter mania because it's that weird Minolta F something.
Yeah.
I don't remember. It's a bunch of different ones, and so you're stacking adapters on adapters. And once you start shooting with the lens long enough, the other side of it is, you guys know this, you start to learn the qualities of it. This one at 1.7 blooms like crazy, and frankly, you can do a 1.7/2.8 split. This has not been declicked, but
Yeah,
you can
that
do a
has not.
1.2.8 split if it'll sit there long enough, and you end up getting that really crazy bokeh. Some of the bokeh in the background of that almost looks, it almost has like
Almost.
anamorphic quality to it, just a little
Anamorphic.
bit. Anamorphic. But yeah, that's one of them. And then we shot with the Sigma. We shot with because the Sigma lets us hide in plain sight.
Yeah. We shot with that.
Same with the vintage lens, and then we
we
shot
did
with
shoot with the
CPs.
12 to 60 for a shot or two.
Yeah, we had the 12 to 60.
Not much.
Yeah, they didn't have a budget for glass aside from what was house owned, and so the CPs got into the mix a little bit, but that's as far as it goes.
Yeah. Yeah, we didn't shoot much CP though with it.
No.
But we did shoot a little.
Yep, shot a little bit. There you go. That's what we got. 50 mil 1.4, 50 mil 1.7.
Yeah, ours is 1.7.
If
Yeah,
you're
a
asking
few
Justin
more.
Gale.
Yeah.
How much time do you spend with the music, listening to it, understand it? What was that?
How much time do you spend with music listening to it and understanding it before you're willing to do a music video?
Let me tell you when I'm willing to do a music video. When they call and say, "Are you willing to do a music video?"
Pretty much.
Because it's a challenge to me. It's not.
Yeah.
I don't care what the song is, because my particular taste in music is Russian circles, and they're never going to do a music video.
If they do, it's going to be weird.
Yeah, right.
It's going to be awesome.
Or it's The Sword, and it's like a live video from a bunch of stoners in Austin. Like, it's the stuff I listen to is not in the realm of music video land for me. So typically what I do is I look at it as the challenge of being an advertiser, not being snobby about it and saying, how can I help this person achieve a result? That's what matters to me. That's what my business is built on. That's what I do for a living. So how do I take my filmmaking skills and background and apply that to a music video?
Right.
It's the same way. It's the same thing. Chris writes music for films and commercials or whatever. It's the same vibe, right? I mean, they don't just when they come to you and say, "Hey, Chris, here's some money. Write some songs."
Right. Well, it's like I gotta.
You're not in the position to be powerful enough to be like, "I will pass on this."
I got offered a job in the. I'm not gonna say the film because I'm friends with the guy, but the film sounded so ridiculous. I was just like, if I take this might actually hurt my career. But at the same time, I'm going, you know what? I will say yes to the job because yeah, sure, no problem. But once I came to him and said, okay, it'll cost this amount. I can afford that. Yeah. Sorry, man.
That's the other side of it, is pricing yourself out. Like, if you don't want to do a video, what I would suggest is pricing yourself
or
right
a
out.
feature film.
Or that's Jeff. Jeff priced himself out of this film that's in town 3 times.
Board 3.
It's
so many
desperate.
times.
It's terrible. I feel bad for him. For the,
I do
the
too.
people, but like,
still.
no,
That's a terrible.
the rates are
it's
bad.
Terrible.
It's like, hey, we want you
Yeah.
to. You need to have 13 to 15 years of shooting lenses in space, and I mean, it's like highly qualified. I mean, it's near the line, right? We talked about a bump. You're like near the line with skill set, and they're like, and the rate's $150 a day.
Whoa!
Yeah.
It's like, oh, okay, you want me to be the most experienced person on set, but you don't want to pay?
Mine went way up here. It kept going, but it never got even close to that.
It happened to us. There was a movie we did where they called like 3 or 4 times. They're like, we need an operator in AC, an operator in AC. And finally I was like, I tell you what we'll do. Here's the rate. And I gave them something insane. Like, this will leave them alone. They took it. They were like,
Yeah, they did.
and me and Jeff,
Then
we're
we're
on
gonna have
set.
fun.
I don't care what happens. We're just like, la da 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 da, la da 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 da. Oh, you guys are going to run late? No problem. Because we didn't care.
And the middle day, because we did that one for 3 days.
Yeah.
Yeah, middle day, we didn't do anything for like 10 hours.
Yeah.
Nothing.
They pulled us in for a 2-hour thing. They're like, be
Yeah.
here. So we're sitting around. I'm just like vaping, walking around.
I think
Jeff
I
is
ran
playing his
batteries
Star Wars.
to,
Yeah.
to
my
a camera
God.
like once or twice, and that was it.
But that's only because we were like, hey, do you guys need me?
Exactly.
That's the reality of it.
Yeah.
Oh man.
But that's my point. Like on a music video, if you're not really into the song, then price yourself out. Or see it from the perspective of how can you take something you're not interested in and use it as a lesson, as a learning tool, as an ability to test yourself as a filmmaker, as an artisan. That's the stuff that's really interesting to me, and that's what we do with a lot of stuff. It's not nothing against the songs. I like a lot of music. I listen to a ton of score.
Yep.
I listen to old punk. And I listen to Russian Circles. I mean, that's the majority of my music. And score needs no music video. Although Duel of the Fates had one. I was thinking about that the other day.
It did. It was actually a really good hype film, too.
It was. I remember
Yeah.
when it premiered
It
on MTV.
hyped
I was sitting there
everything up
thinking
for
about
it.
Yeah, I remember seeing that too, and I'm going,
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's epic. But then Russian Circles, like I said, doesn't do one. And old punk, I'm listening to most of these guys are dead from heroin. So, like, no offense. Civ is
fair
not
enough.
dead. Still listen to Civ from time to
Yeah.
time. Little Gorilla Biscuits.
Well, and then you got Fugazi Minor Threat in them. They're not dead, but they're just off the
I don't even know where they
the
are.
horizon. Yeah. They don't do technology very much.
Yeah. Sometimes I listen to like some hip hop, like Run the Jewels, and their music videos are so badass. I
They
can't
really
even-
are. Run the Jewels actually has really good videos. Okay, going back to questions.
Yeah, sorry.
Would you rather spend or compromise on camera or on glass?
Okay, so let's assume in your question, which fine, good question.
Uh-huh.
Let's assume that I have adapters and I don't have to think about that. So are you in your question, sir? Who is this from? Trev? Looks like a Trev one.
Floshin.
Floshin? Floshin Moon.
I don't know how
I don't
to
know if I
pronounce
just
that name.
cursed.
I know, I might have to.
Let's assume that I can mount any lens to the camera, right? And that's the situation. I would 100%, 90% of the time go with glass. Always. 90%, 100%.
90%, 100%.
It's like Sex
Got
Panther
it.
by Odeon. Yeah, I always go with glass because I think at the end of the day, no one is going to give a shittle on what sensor you used or how it looked in low light if you make a pretty image and you use the lenses you have. So if your camera is limited, if I had to shoot off a cell phone, not a Samsung Galaxy S8, it's a piece of shit. Toll. If I had to shoot off of a cell phone and I had to mount lenses to it, then I would figure out the best way to shoot the content with that if it's for a music video.
Yeah.
If I'm hamstrung, then it's the challenge of figuring out how to
There
to
is
make
a
it work.
new anamorphic adapter phone case for the iPhone.
That's so silly. But I get it. At the same time, who cares?
Yeah.
If the majority of people are watching on this, they're not going to see all that crap.
No.
No.
I mean, that's the
can't.
truth. Yeah, it's impossible.
Trev adding to his question earlier, I mean, how much time do you spend figuring out a visual story that fits the music?
It depends.
It does.
One
Sometimes
time
they come right to either
Yeah.
one of us, or sometimes they'll come right to us right away.
One day we spent, one of them, I spent 2 weeks in development.
Yeah, we've
That was for
we've
the
had
Ether thing.
yeah,
2 weeks of development.
but we had an idea pretty quickly on that.
Yeah,
on
we
that
did.
part of it.
We did. And I spent 2 weeks into development, a lot of VFX prep, a ton of stuff. And the music video is awesome. I absolutely loved it. We did some crazy stuff, and then they scrapped it. So we shot the whole thing, we got paid, and they scrapped it. And that's cool. That's their right. They
Yeah,
they
that's
liked
what
it.
happens.
They just felt like something in it was too I don't know what they described it as. They just didn't like an element of it, and they scrapped
Yeah.
it. And then we shot it again. True story.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't
We
know
shot
that.
it again in one of the most innovatively stupid ideas I've ever come up with, me and Jeff.
Yeah.
That's the water one, right?
Yeah, what's the water one?
We shot the entire music video reflected into water,
Yeah.
where we
we
reversed
were-
it. So we shot we shot all this footage, edited the footage, reversed or flipped the footage,
Yeah.
played it backward and exported it reversed, played it
Through a projector.
through a projector into the water, so now it was on the right side, and then what we had is water and it would get mopped up.
Yeah.
So we
We
would
would
pour
run
the water
water
into
through
it.
tubes.
So
Right.
the video is now playing forward, and the water comes in and it's reflecting off the water, so it looks like Terminator 2.
Yeah.
Magnesium. No.
Yeah.
What is that? It's in your mercury.
Yeah, yeah.
It suddenly looks like mercury, and as the water comes in, it forms the images, and we did it all in camera, the entire thing. That was one of the longest music video shoots we've ever had. I think that was like
Jeez, man.
15 hours of literally pouring water, mopping it, pouring water, mopping it. It was crazy. And it's one of the pieces, like to me, it's insanely.
Speaking of water.
Did you guys hear the toilet? That's the
There
kids
was.
upstairs. We have a school above us. That's why we can't say too many curse words until after 3 p.m., in which I just F-bomb this place. Like, and by F-bomb, I don't mean the curse word.
Yeah.
It's just Fart City up in here. Jeff warned me. He was like, hey, I'm just letting you know, tomorrow.
I ate enchiladas last night. I had cheese. I don't eat cheese anymore.
He's like, I'm just giving you a heads up. So I was like, Sarah, give me some garlic.
Oh.
That's awesome. I can't smell it.
Counteract it. Yeah. So it's hard to say, like, the amount of time we put into prep is just what it is.
Yeah.
That's called full circle, folks.
All right. So while we here,
Yep.
question for Chris:
Oh.
would you turn down work because you may not be capable or confident of a genre of music?
In 1 second. Clark! Okay.
Clark's here. Yeah. Oh yeah, there he is.
Would I? No, I would not, because that would mean it would be challenging for me. Because I, like Drew likes to do, like Jeff likes to do, you always want to challenge yourself. And if you're thinking, oh, I might not can do it, that's just meaning that you got to push yourself to the point where you can do it. So, no, I would not turn anything down like that, especially, I mean, point in fact, Snake Out of Compton, you know, it's coming out this
yeah,
year.
he did.
Yeah.
He did Snake Out of Compton. Hey, whatever.
Yeah.
Hey,
Hey.
the amount of press that movie was getting
Dude,
just
yeah,
from the
yeah,
trailer. Just from the
exactly.
trailer. We
It's
had
insane.
Entertainment Weekly, Hollywood Reporter,
Variety.
Variety.
All the trade mags.
Fox.
have it.
We were on Fox
Probably
News.
TMZ. TMZ.
Yeah, I think we were on TMZ as well.
Well, that's
a
because
big
they were
one
trying
now.
to interview the snake.
Exactly.
But they went to. Dang it! I couldn't think of another place in California fast enough.
Well, the whole thing with the score, though, the director comes to me and said, all right, this is what I want. I want 80s synthesized John Carpenter meets, with Stranger Things meets hip-hop. And I'm like, what? Is that even possible? So I sat there, and for like months, I kept trying to get the idea, and nothing was working. And then finally, once I saw the film, I made like one little demo track and sent it to him. He's like, that's perfect. That's what I wanted. So I was
great.
like, so the entire score is nothing but 80 synthesized music.
That's great,
Mixed
though.
with, mixed with hip hop.
Yeah, but I get it. I get
Yeah.
the idea. Now that I've seen a trailer for it, like it makes all the sense in the world.
I remember telling you about it, and you're just like, what?
Yeah. That was. It takes forever for movies to come out. That's the.
Yeah,
the
that's
crazy
from what I'm hearing. You know, I haven't heard too much stuff about it. From what I'm hearing, it's supposed to get like a pretty decent release.
part. Yeah. Have you guys heard of the Sigma 50 to 100 mil? No. I have not yet.
I haven't either, actually.
I've got
HDR
something.
on a phone is kind of pointless. It needs to be bigger. I agree, MPEG. HDR on any phone is just kind of a silly gimmick because you're not really taking advantage of much. It's hard to even notice it. Like,
Yeah.
at least for
That's
us.
true.
Somebody asked early on about part 3 of the HDR video. Yes, we will get to it
Yes.
because we really wanted to get that Atomos in
Yeah, the sumo.
the Atomos Sumo to show it, and we finally have it in. We just got busy. Like
Yeah.
we're blessed right now. We
We did,
finally
yeah.
got a boatload of work, and it's kept us very on our toes. So we just have to carve out a little bit of window for Jeff to finish that up. But yes, we will put that out for you to show you how to do delivery. It's kind of important.
Yeah.
Still, to this day, Premiere does not work for HDR
Yeah.
delivery, despite whatever other people say. It does not work. At least anyway, we've been able to figure it out, and we've been dealing with it for a long time. The buttons are there, sure. The output
Buttons
does
are
not
there.
do it.
Yeah.
I got something to talk about phones. Have you seen the trailer for the movie Unsane by Soderbergh, shot entirely on an iPhone?
Yeah,
Yes.
but here's the thing, though, is what they're doing. This is the point of that same thing.
Yeah.
If you look at those rigs, it's not that they shot it like this.
Right.
You'll see it, and it'll have a master prime and a $120,000 piece of glass mounted
Yeah.
to a cell phone.
Well, see, I haven't seen the behind the scenes enough. I just saw the trailer. And that was it.
Still has some 8-bit degradation and stuff like that. in it.
Yeah.
It's very interesting.
But he's the guy that does that stuff. I mean, he was shooting on the XL1.
No, yeah.
He was doing all kinds of crazy
He will
stuff.
take more risks than anybody else that I know as a director slash DP or in either one of those two.
He's
different
really a big
styles.
craft show fan, is essentially. He's like the rest of this community here. We all just do crazy stuff with cameras. That's essentially what Soderbergh does.
Right.
No,
He
it
just
is.
happens to have enough of a name
Yeah.
he has a budget from.
I
Exactly.
mean,
But he didn't make a ton off Logan Lucky,
No.
No,
and it wasn't a great movie.
I don't think
I
he
haven't
made a
seen it
lot
yet.
off the
That's
Nick. Honestly, even though that's something you might like.
Oh, man.
Because it's
Yeah.
the Nick.
No, the Knicks.
Yeah. That was on what, Cinemax?
I think it was Cinemax.
Yeah,
Cinemax or
but
So
Showtime.
that's a bonus. If
But it's like electronic, new age electronic music mixed with like late 1800s medicine drama
that'd be
show.
different.
Yeah, it's really weird.
that's what I've heard. It's
Worked really well though.
Yep.
Uh,
Sean. Hello, Sean. Thanks for chiming in there, buddy.
yeah.
MK8D did a great video showing how the shot on the iPhone video. Yeah, that's what we were saying. That's I knew I saw it somewhere, so I don't know where the. If you want to throw the link in there, Sean, we'll approve it if you have it. If
Yeah.
not, you guys search it and find it on your own. Sean's busy.
Any videos planned about starting a company in this business? Actually, I think that might be a good idea.
We could do
you're,
one.
You're listening to
It's gonna let me sum it up. Here's the beginning of the video. So you want to open a video production business.
N-O.
that's the end of it.
That's the end. It's brutal, man. I'll be honest.
It can be
like,
brutal, yeah.
It's
Just this business alone is.
Yeah.
dude. Any small business is just
small
brutal.
business is
I don't know
hard.
where you are. If you're in the United States, owning a small business is a penalty, which is
Yeah, it can be.
travesty. But if you're not in the U.S., maybe you have a better support system. The biggest challenge isn't getting clients. That's you picking up the phone and calling and hustling, which is what I do a lot. I spend more of my time doing that than being creative. The truth of it is you start to appreciate the creative even more when you get those moments, like this music video. You appreciate it because all of a sudden you're doing something you love to do that doesn't require you picking up the phone, calling, and hustling. Like, you do it. But the hustling part, that cold calling, that reaching out for clients, it goes on forever. Because if me and Jeff get a lot of work, but the problem is that work comes in spurts.
It does,
So
yeah.
you either have a choice. You can either wait for the next job, or you can set yourself up in a position where there's reoccurring revenue or establishing more lines of work. Same way, Chris hustles is maybe one of the biggest hustlers I've ever met. He's constantly talking to somebody about something, at least getting his name out. If you don't hustle, you don't get the work.
You know, right now, I've got like 5 different things that are being planned right now, just
Right.
to come to me. And plus, talking about steady income. I got a steady income. I work at a local news station.
Right.
So I mean, it's like I'm essentially working 3 different jobs.
Right. That's the thing. Is like
Yeah.
And so on our side, I mean, you have the taxes. Again, this is U.S. based, but you have the taxes and all that stuff that start to stack up against you, and you start looking at things like, okay, cool. I have my checking account has $15,000. Wouldn't that be great? My checking account has $15,000 in it. I'm gonna go buy some gear. Great. But then all of a sudden, that gear is depreciated against your business. Now you have an overhead cost. So either you raise your rates. If you're super busy, great. If you're not, consider that. But then all of a sudden, you start buying all this equipment. And then what's the purpose in having all that gear if you're not getting the work out of it?
Right.
And that's where something like, again, any of these DSLRs, but for us, what we found was owning a Red already, or a few Reds already, that like for us, like GH5s, the GH5 and GH5S, they fit our kit better. They give us the tools we want to do to get the project done. And this is not a commercial, but it's the absolute truth. I don't like the way the Sony plays. I'm not a huge Canon fan. Our stuff just worked better this way, and it's a personal preference. But that's where those smaller cameras can bail you out. And if you have clients that are like, you need a bigger camera, then mark up your budget. We've talked about it before. If you haven't seen it, I'll just share it with you. Mark up your budget to include the cost of a camera and lenses you want to rent, and present that to your client. Do not put them as an itemized thing on your budget. It's the first thing they're going to kill. Just show them a straight number. If you get a client that says I got a $5,000 project, right? Then you bid $49.95. And make sure that you make the money you need to make. But if you want to rent new gear and play with a new camera, or hire a composer, or do something crazy with it, make sure that that's in there, but just don't line item it. That's one of the biggest mistakes I ever made when we started. I line item everything, and the first thing they do is cut equipment and music. First thing they cut. And so then you lose what you might be after. And maybe you don't care about the music. Maybe it's like a simple spot. But whatever it is, make sure you keep it. Just give them a number and let them buy on you. Let them purchase you, not an itemized spreadsheet.
Yeah.
All right, rant over.
All right, I'm going back up a little bit. Anthony Cohen asks, can Final Cut work for HDR? Supposedly, yes. I have not tried it. We know a couple of people that
Will Stone sent us some footage and it worked.
It will trigger.
Yeah, we've gotten it to trigger.
I know there is a couple of problems with Final Cut, or was problems with Final Cut with their scopes when they made it to where you could do HDR, but that's really the biggest thing I know of.
Yep.
Aaron Collins, is the Atmos Sumo the next step from the Ninja Inferno? Yes, they're a 19-inch production monitor that they have.
Yeah, it's in the case, otherwise we'd break it out.
Yeah.
Should we show the box?
Authorized Mike. Paint a cardboard box black, put a GH5 into that box and make it look bigger. Boom, happy clients. Dude,
Awesome.
I think we need to make a tutorial video on how to get clients with a bigger camera. Because look, man, if that's the case, look at this. This is the world premiere of the brand new Atomos camera. It shoots out of this peephole. You can do shoulder rig.
You drop peanuts all over.
You got shoulder rig, right? It's great for selfies. It fits on your desk.
Apparently.
Brilliant, Mike. Brilliant. Love it. And now I've slung peanuts everywhere.
No, I'll go down here to the bottom one. MPEG, is DaVinci still the best for HDR production? I think it is. It's definitely the cheapest, easiest way to do it. The only problem with DaVinci for me is it still doesn't render out H.265s. So you still have to go to another software to do it.
Yeah.
Going back up.
Built-in handles. Well done, Clark. Well done. Yeah, seriously, I think we should do that. That's a straight-up troll video. That's like an ultimate Baby Seal Troll Force video.
It is.
And if we just send the same cardboard box, or we just find the same one, and everybody does a video, that's actually genius. If we could hype the internet to do that, and we make this new revolutionary, and everybody hypes it. You have to hype it. If we can get that level of trollism, that would be absolutely amazing. I think it would be funny.
Me too.
Trollism. I just made up that word. I'm a genius.
Yep. It'll be in Webster's next year.
Trollisms.
It's going to be in like Webster, the TV show?
No, the dictionary.
Oh.
They added dumpster fire and like 800 other words. Manscaping is now
Sorry, dumpster fire.
Dumpster fire. Whelp. Whelp is now technically a word. Wow. Yeah. So Joe Mama Incorporated. What is your average ratio of pre-production?
Seriously, a dude named Joe Mama.
Joe Mama. Joe Mama Inc.
That's genius.
What is your average ratio of pre-production, production, and post for a music video?
What is your average
Ratio.
I'm trying to think of how to solve that out.
Yeah.
In terms of
Varies,
hours, I
too.
guess.
Yeah.
It's probably 3 to 5 on the average. It's probably 10 hours of pre-pro. It's probably
Yeah.
10 to 12 hours of production, and usually 5 to 7 hours of editorial with 2 to 3 hours of grading, depending on what
Yeah.
it is. So what does that come out to?
About a third each.
Yeah,
Really.
it's really roughly a third. I just have been editing for a very long time, so... And then when you also shoot and direct it, you kind of, you guys all know that, but like,
Yeah.
you can go a
Our
little bit
post is
quicker.
pretty fast.
Yeah, post with us, that's also the moneymaker. We've talked about that before.
It is.
You make more money in
But
post than you do
if
anywhere
we're
else.
shooting it, our post is usually pretty quick.
Yeah, post is profit.
Yeah.
I don't like to have outstanding projects, so I just plow
Yeah.
through them, which is part of the problem as soon as I get off the show.
I know right now.
We
kind
have
of a problem at the
pending chaos right now.
Yeah. Trev was asking for Chris here
Nope.
if you've done any DAW work on tablets, laptops, or on your phone, and has it changed the way you write? If you have done it.
I've only used like a few sounds off of like a tablet or something once, but nothing too extraordinary. So I'm gonna just say no. nothing to the extent of like scoring entire projects. Strictly just doing something like that. I mean, I've toyed with the idea, but I'm also a little too afraid of how badly that could go.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, let's see. Going down.
Trying
Sorry,
to-
I'm trying to keep up here.
I think you're caught up.
I think I am now. Because on the Trev is HTC5 and
Yeah,
Resolve is
and the
brutal.
timeout
Yeah, it
Resolve.
is definitely still brutal. There.
Sound Anthos. I'll never get your name right, my dear friend.
Sean.
There you go.
Yeah, I know.
I was just gonna say he said hey.
Hey, bud.
Yeah. All right. Well, we should probably wrap it up.
Yeah.
If you have any questions, we'll keep the chat ski open. If you have questions, if you have questions for Chris, how can they find you, Chris?
You can find me on Facebook.
Chris Lott,
Yeah,
by the way.
just type in Chris Lott. You can find me on Twitter at
With 2
Scripted
T's.
Eyes. Yeah, 2 T's. LOTT. 2 T's. You can find me on Twitter. It's at Scripted Eyes. It's SCRPTED.
We always have
It's the same thing, man. It's like a
it
film.
never spelled. Sorry, long.
Listen
to the podcast,
Yeah,
you'll
yeah,
understand.
exactly. Go back to the podcast. You'll definitely understand.
At Scripted Eyes
Yeah,
on
yeah.
Twitter.
Yeah,
Oh,
on
yeah.
Twitter and
What are you on Instagram?
same thing.
Scripted Eyes.
See,
Eyes.
he's branded himself. At Scripted Eyes.
Not by. I wasn't trying to do that. It just happened.
That's good. Anyway, you can also hit me and Jeff up if you'd like to follow us on Instagram at Craft Show. If you'd like to follow Jeff at The Beard Color. If you'd like to follow me, I don't really care.
F29
No, I have a personal one.
underscore. I know, but do you
But
want
pictures of my kids.
I
I
know.
mean, that's what I do with it.
That's what Craft Show is sometimes too.
Well, they're family.
Exactly.
Yeah, they're happy helpers.
They are. You
Any
know
parent
who's
knows
not
what
on
that is.
Instagram?
What?
Our wives.
Yeah, that's true. They're not happy helpers.
Not at all.
I almost
They're
said
just
happy.
forced into
They're
it.
not happy herpes.
Where were you going with that?
Yep, I'm drinking water. Polar bear's nuts. We're
Yep.
getting out of here. Send us emails. We'll